What's up? It's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. For this vlog that I'm going to be doing for the next week or so, I'm going to be finishing up my summer WIPS. It's still early on in August, but I go back to work for the next school year in a couple of weeks, and I want to just finish up summer WIPS and get started prepping for market season for fall. The sort of markets I do in my town, they're just these like first Friday 2-hour event things. So it's like not quite a market, not quite a craft fair, but it's just easier to call it that. All right, so what I've got to finish, the only sort of, I guess it counts as a wearable, I started this scarf that I'm prototyping, something I'm calling a puppet scarf. If you saw my previous video where I made like a book dragon, I'll try to maybe like insert that short or something here. But basically I made a scarf and put like the head and tail of a dragon on the end of it, and it kind of worked like a puppet, and I thought it would be fun. That was sort of like a happy accident situation, and I thought it would be fun to kind of do that more intentionally. So this one's gonna be a fish. So I've made the scarf, and this is something I want to try out to sell at markets. I'm hoping maybe next spring to get into like a big, like real multi-day market. So I need to work on the head and the tail for this. Then if you've been following along, I've been designing a bunch of plushies. It's just been really fun. I've finally kind of like hit my groove with it. And I've had a bunch of different ideas, and I'm sort of just testing designs for me to see if I like them, but also to see like makeability for markets. So recently I made this little stack of pancakes. I really like it. I don't know if it's quite market ready. Like, it was really complicated to try to do the pancakes as one piece, but it felt like a waste of yarn to do multi-pieces. This is one that I'm like, okay, I really like it, probably gonna keep it. I might try to sell it, but like I don't think this is something I'll make multiples of. This one is like ice cream cookie sandwich. This one does not have a face, and I don't know if I like them as much, but I don't know if like everybody always wants their plushies to have a face, so I might just see if this one sells. I'm writing down the patterns of everything so I can make them again. I do have a couple left. Oh, I also designed this little cinnamon roll. I might try to make a couple more of these, we'll see. So I have a few left that I want to try out. The first market's the first weekend of September, so it's that kind of like end of summer, early fall sort of thing. So I want to make like a little slice of pizza and a cupcake and maybe a slice of cake and just see kind of what those look like. I need to start thinking about ideas for Halloween and Thanksgiving stuff. I have a few ideas, but I need to like narrow that down, and I want to make like a schedule for market prepping so that I don't feel overwhelmed like the week before, which I just started doing markets last year. So that's kind of what's been happening, is I get really overwhelmed and I spend like a whole month preparing, and then I have the next market and then I'm preparing more things. So I want to try to get ahead a little bit, be thinking about holiday stuff, because that's what tends to do the best. And then I need to kind of like take inventory of my yarn and see what I have. I currently have like a bag of velvet going for all my plushies, so I need to make sure of what I have, what I still need, that kind of stuff. So I am working on, I've got a few things happening today. I'm probably gonna be working on this scarf for a while, but that's where we're at as far as summer WIPS and fall / Halloween prep. We're heading in that direction. Alright, so it's a little bit later. I finished my little cupcake. I still need to glue the little mouth on. If you know of any glue besides, I've tried super glue and that didn't really seem to work great on velvet. I don't know if it was just the kind of super glue. I usually hot glue things, but it's really, really hard to not leave like a little bit of messiness that's hard to clean up. So if you have glue recommendations for me, please let me know. But yeah, it's just this little like sprinkle frosted cupcake with a little cherry on top. I do think it would be fun to do some like different holiday themed ones of these because this was really easy. I've kind of been thinking about different ideas. I also randomly, this kind of looks like a pineapple, but this is going to be a sheep and I need to make like the head and legs and stuff. I am trying to figure out what sort of things I want to make. I have these little birds that I designed. Oh, I didn't realize you can see the other ones back there. So this is my crow, and I definitely want to make some of these for like Halloween. I have my chickens. I definitely want to make a few more of these. And I was thinking, because I have these and I have a cardinal and a green jay bird, and I want to try to make a turkey for Thanksgiving, and then crows for Halloween, I think, and I'll probably do the cardinals for Christmas in November. But so I need to try to design a turkey. I have some scrap yarn from a long time ago that I think might work for a pigeon. I could go off on a tangent, but I won't bore you with it, but I have discovered several people that have a love for pigeons recently, and so I think pigeons might sell well in this area. I also have this little bear pattern that I designed a long time ago that I think I want to just make some more of, because the ones I originally did were bigger, but this is like a mini version that I like better and it's just easier to work up. I also just learned something through, I do this from the top down, and kind of getting the legs right is a little weird in that respect. I did just learn how to do like legs, like separate legs, but go up from making other people's patterns, so I might try to like adapt it a little bit. But I think maybe without the hat, just like a few of these in some different colors, just things that work up really easily. Because these little like craft markets that I do are only a couple hours, I don't like to have a ton of inventory, and I use this as like a way to sort of like test out, okay, what are people interested in? So I usually only bring like 2 or 3 of each kind of thing. And my tables are like, we have to bring our own tables, and so this stuff like fills up fairly quickly. As far as like Halloween things go, I think I might do some pumpkins. I actually just ordered some more yarn. My sister requested, sorry, I got fuzz. Oh, are we gonna be able to see it? I made a cargo net that I keep yarn in up there, so dust falls down occasionally. But anyway, I showed my sister something that I made and she wanted one too, so I needed to order yarn for that. So I bought some like oranges and greens and blacks to make little Halloween critters, and I'm just gonna kind of make whatever I feel like. So those are my loose plans for now. For Halloween and fall, I will work on the sort of schedule that I talked about at a later date, but for now I'm just gonna I'm gonna work on finishing up those summer WIPs that I was talking about. Alrighty, it's been a couple of days. Yesterday I had a migraine and didn't do hardly anything at all. I worked on this little sheep a little bit and I just finished it. I love him. It's so random. I bought this, this is Bernat Forever Fleece. and I had just been wanting to try it, and I bought some and I had no idea what I was going to do with it, and I was like, I feel like it wants to be a sheep. So I made this little sheep guy. I'm going to take some really good pictures in case I plan to make it again. I'll definitely take it to my market, but like this bobble stitch was honestly really difficult to do in this yarn, but so cute. Alright, so last night I got into making some birds. I wasn't really in the mood to like fully finish them, so I got one chicken body done. This was the yarn that I had laying around that I thought I might use for the turkey, but I think it's just not gonna work. Turkeys, I know, like I had to look up some reference photos and they have a lot of pictures. They have a lot of pictures, they have a lot of colors in them. And while I know sometimes they're depicted with like the red head and then a brown body, I might try out a couple of things. I might try just brown and then do the like neck thing red. But I think this is gonna work for another chicken just as another color. So I think I'll just make this another chicken. This is the yarn I got for the crows, because the one that I made was just made with some scrap yarn that was from Joann. So I'm trying to find a replacement for it. I got Wool Ease Thick and Quick, just because I love the color. This is I don't want to do solid black because the beak and the feet are black. Grab him. So I wanted to stick with like the dark gray or like this marled black so that those details like in the eyes don't get lost. But this stuff, it's a weight 6 yarn, and I was like, I haven't used woolies a lot. I think maybe only one other time. I don't really like to work with wool a ton, but I was just like, oh, I'll just use a smaller hook. I'll use 5mm and it'll kind of scrunch it down. And this was so brutal on my hands. It's gonna work fine, but it's a lot stiffer, and it's not gonna work for multiples. So I want to finish this one, and then with the rest of this, I thought it would be fun to just size up the hook quite a bit and make like, not a huge crow, but a bigger crow, just for fun. So I'm going to be, I think, trying to finish these up. I usually just like finish all the bodies and then do kind of all the parts or all the faces together, just so that I'm not getting the glue gun out all the time. I am working on like a scrap, like patchwork scarf kind of thing. I've got, this happens to me all the time, that I will get done with some projects and be like, oh, okay, I'll start 1 or 2, and then it's like slowly I just start more things and I just get more and more piles of yarn on my desk. I did get some more yarn in the mail today. I don't know if you've been able to see this thing sitting here, but if any of you are like in your 30s and ever played the putt-putt games on computer, it's like a humongous games, like kids game. I sort of just randomly decided to make one. And his little dog, this I followed a pattern for. I don't remember. I'll link it. I don't remember. It's just a free YouTube tutorial, but I used to play that game all the time with my sister, and so I showed it to her and she was like, oh my god, I need one. So I ordered some yarn for that and just for some of my Halloween stuff that came today. The vacuum sealed yarn just cracks me up because it's like pancake yarn. So I got some of that, some Halloween colors, so I can work on that for her. So I'm just kind of doing like little bits and bobs today, but I think I'm going to try to at least finish up the bodies of these birds so I can get some of this yarn back off my desk. Alrighty, it's been a day or two, I think. It's Saturday evening. I've been taking things a little easy today. Tomorrow's my last day before I'm back to work for the semester. So I did actually go and see the Freakier Friday movie today. I actually really enjoyed it. I kind of, with that kind of thing, I just go in with like very low to almost like no expectations, but I actually thought it was really cute and I had a good time. And despite it being a Saturday, there were only 2 other groups of people in the theater. I like to bring a crochet project when I go to the movies, so I usually try to go on a day when there's not going to be a lot of people, so I wasn't really sure how it was going to be, but I sit a little closer to the front and like off to the side, so hopefully there won't be a ton of people around. But I brought the scarf with me, and I think I did pretty much this whole chunk. Okay, I'm looking for my crochet hook and trying to talk at the same time. I moved a little slower just because I don't use these like Clover and More hooks super often, and so I just feel like, obviously crocheting in the dark, like you're not looking at it, so just going by feel, I felt like I was moving a little slower. I also got super lucky. I had a really cute outfit on that I could show you, except that right when it started, the soda that I smuggled in got a little too fizzed up in my bag, and so when I tried to open it, it spilled like all over the side of my shirt and the skirt I was wearing. And luckily I hadn't got my yarn or anything out yet, and it missed my purse somehow. But I was just kind of like, well, it was a Sprite, so it was a white soda, and I was like the previews had just started, and I was like, well, okay. So I just kind of like put my hoodie over my lap and just went on about it and was like, all right, I'll just wash my clothes when I get home. So yeah, I'll probably work on this some more tonight. I think I'm kind of in the mood just for like chill, mindless stuff. The one thing I really don't love about making some plushies is like, even though I already made this guy once, I didn't write any of it down, so like making another one for my sister, I'm kind of just like recreating the pattern. And like people that pattern design like multiple things a month, I just want to be able to turn my brain off a little more. So I think I want to try again and prototype the turkeys to see if I need to get yarn for that next week. And I might work on one of these little bears or something, but just gonna take it slow this evening. I've got a lot of things to do next week, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to get done, but I still just want to like, I'm trying not to pressure myself into making a lot of things. It's fun, I feel like, to have a ton of ideas. I don't know, those of you that are more like experienced with markets and stuff, if you feel this way, but it's like, this is like a small list for me, this like fall and Halloween list that I made. I get too many ideas, and so sometimes I feel like it gets kind of daunting and I start to feel like choice paralysis. So I made myself an even shorter list of things I'm just trying to like hone in on and finish for this September market that's coming up in a couple weeks, and then just worry about the other stuff later. So I'm gonna stop yapping for the evening and just kind of chill and work on some stuff. Okay, just checking in really quick. Working on the turkey. The part that's giving me the problem is like, I have an idea, like I want to do like the fan tail, but this is the tail that I usually do for them, and I'm kind of wondering if I should just like take that part off so I can sew the fantail onto the body, because if it's like this and I like attach the fan here, there's gonna like be space, or it's gonna have to lean forward, because I don't know if I'm gonna do like, I'll probably do like multiple panels that aren't stuffed, but that way it'll like be a little thicker. don't know, this is like 5 rows, so it doesn't take very long if I want to put it back, but I think I have plenty of this yarn, so I think I'm just gonna undo this little tail nub and just round it out and then try doing the fan. We'll see. Alright, turkey update. I think that like the body and the head and like all the little details I really like. I haven't, oh come on, there we go. I haven't woven in all of the ends yet, but I think I'm liking the feathers. I like that there's 5. I like the color. But I can't decide. I might have to like weave in all the ends and see. I just feel like it's kind of, obviously it's a mess, but it just feels a little like bulky in the back. I'll definitely want to like streamline that a little bit, maybe try to like close this off. I don't know, we're getting there though, and I like this, and it works out really well because I actually have quite a bit of this like terracotta colored yarn and this brown, and what I've been doing with my like 4-weight acrylic is just doubling it up so that, because I usually use chunky yarn for the birds, so it's like the same. We're just having all kinds of focusing issues, aren't we? Maybe if I quit moving them. But yeah, so that it's got like, it's closer to the size of the chunky yarn. So I have plenty of this yarn. I still have quite a bit of the yarn left for the feathers, so I can make some like other prototypes on that, but I'm very happy with this progress. I just realized I didn't make him wings. Does it still need wings, or is the, I'll have to go back, and I think turkeys have separate wings. I'll have to go back. I've been jumping back and forth between like cartoon reference images and real reference images, so I'll have to go back and look, but he still needs his little wings on the side. But yeah, great progress with this. I think I'm just gonna keep, I feel like I keep listing off the same things that I'm working on, so I'm just gonna keep working. I'll kind of update you as I finish things. Good morning. It's actually Sunday morning, so 2 days after my little market. I wanted to just kind of give a wrap up, talk about how I did, my next steps, that kind of stuff. So it went really well. I had a lot of people stopping by. All of my plushies were really popular with kids, which is really fun to see. A lot of the parents, I think, were just in we're looking, not purchasing kind of vibes, but that's okay. Overall, I made a little over, I can't remember if it was right at $75 or under that, which seems very low for like a market. But if you've seen any of my other vlogs where I talk about these ones that we do downtown 6 times a year, it's run by like our local arts council, and it's supposed to be very vendor friendly. So your table fee is only $10 per setup. So like you pay $30 to sign up for 3 of them. Like I've already made that back. So the next ones will be all profit minus supplies I've bought, which I don't usually buy very many supplies each time. So it's not a lot, but it was a really good time. It's only a 2.5 hour session, so that's honestly, for me, that's pretty good. My last time back in June was less than that, and I think I made like 40 bucks that time, so that one was a little disappointing, but I'm hoping, and based on kind of how I did last year, I think next month with my Halloween and like Thanksgiving stuff, that'll do a little bit better, because I think people are more like in the mood to shop for decorations and stuff. So next steps, I think I'd mentioned this previously, but I'm not sure. I've been really wanting to try out Palm Street Live. I have been watching Morgan from Ally Crochet talk about doing Palm Street Live. She did a really great like breakdown video that kind of convinced me to try it out. Because I don't have like a pre-established successful crochet business, I have no idea if anyone is gonna even click on my stuff, but I figure it really can't hurt to try, and I would love to get rid, basically, of a lot of my inventory, because like some of it is stuff that I made last year, and I don't want to keep bringing the same stuff to my markets, and I had to like figure out some more storage space for inventory, and I would like to, you know, have some of that open for the future. So I think like getting my kind of Etsy store revamped and rebranded and all that is going to be a way longer process. So I do think I'm going to try a Palm Street Live. I'm not going to, I think, have a ton of stuff in it just for my first shot, but so we'll see what happens with that. I'll update on that in a future vlog, but that's gonna be all for this one. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I'm very excited to now that I've rested. I've got a couple of like cozy long-term projects that I'm working on, but I am excited to get into Halloween makes. So that's gonna be the next video that I'm working on, and I'm excited to share. So if you like this video and you want to see more from me, feel free to subscribe. I post videos 2 to 3 times a month. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.